Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUp Arc Studio. In this case, I'm going to show how we can create some realistic render about the interior design of the some type of office. So before we start this tutorial, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Let's get to work. As you can see, we have some big window in here and some type of texture about the city environment, and it's really fantastic. So I will set my camera shot at the first of my job. So I'm gonna click on this place that called view management. So I will check the create view box in here and move my character a little bit to this place, something like that, for example. So first of all, I want to unlink visual setting and rename it to some type of name like R1 and add it to my favorite renders. So XYZ is related to the coordinate and position of your camera shot. So 2.4 is good and my eye height is 1.3 and the Z is about negative 5.8 and the pitch is about 0. So the yaw is some number about 270 degree and we completely look straight in this camera shot. So I want to fix my sun position before all of these jobs. So I'm going to hold shift and right click, and when I change my time of the day near to the morning, you can see the changes in your interior lighting. So for example, something like that can be a little bit artificial but a little bit dark. So it completely depends on you how you can check it out, but I prefer to use some type of lighting like this. So the clock is about maybe 7 a.m. and the altitude is about 20.7. So I press enter, and the sun direction and angle is really important. So the texture is something from the backside. So when you look at this texture, the lighting in the back of the camera and back of the perspective. So we must try to use some type of sun angle from the backside. How I can do this job? Very simple, only with changing the sun position. For example, maybe something like that can be really good. Something like this. So I want to check it out for some decade number. 180 or maybe 210 can be good, something like this. And I'm gonna press create bar in here. So my camera shot created and generated for me. Now I can work in my environment. Very simple and easy. I'm gonna start my job with a safe frame, and I want to click on the visual setting, move the visual setting in there, and it's two empty parts in there, so I must fix it. How I can do this work? I can reduce the field of view, one of the important keys for the rendering. We have the desktop and computer in here, so be careful how much you zoom in your target. 62 is good, and I will close it, minimize it, open the SketchUp, and move this office chair a little bit near to the desktop, something like that, maybe much better. So I can orbit this object to see better results and realistic rendering settings. So I need something like that, and I want to cover my area with this chair like this. So everything is good. Now I want to click on the maximizing screen in here. So I will click on the visual setting and play with the exposure to reach to the best result. For example, 56 is really good right now, and rendering quality at the final job. So I will turn on the depth of field, but I don't know how. So for this job, I'm going to turn on the depth of field and turn off the autofocus option. So now I can play with the focal point, very simple and easy. I need this shining line, but where I want to focus on it, for example, this wall in here and these tableaus or sofas in there. It completely depends on you. I prefer to focus on the sofa. So some number about 10.80 meter is the good distance from your camera lens in shot. So 8% for the depth of field is good. And now I want to click on the image bar. Before I click on the image bar, I can turn on the outlines a little bit, something about 6 for some lines and cut or edges. So in the image bar, I want to use auto contrast. Now we can see the changes and it's really wonderful. So I want to control some of these colors. So how I can do this job? I can use the color temperature and saturation. If I want some type of vibrance colors in my environment, I can increase the saturation much more. And look at these orange places. When I increase the saturation, all of them will convert it to the red. So 104 is the normal number. And if I want some warm render, I can decrease the color temperature for better results. 5000 Kelvin is really good number for this, and we don't need any type of motion blur. Bloom and lens flare is not really important, but I want to hold a little bit of these parameters in my render. Vignette is something about 21 and chromatic abbreviation is 0. So in the atmosphere bar, I can turn off the fog for better GI calculation in my environment. And night sky brightness is not really helped me right now, but when I decrease the sun brightness, as you can see, we have some type of normal lighting right now in our environment, and it's really wonderful. But I want to check it on the 36%, and now it's good. So shadow sharpness related to the interior lighting and sun direction. As you can see, we can imagine that we have some type of clear sun direction in here without any type of obstacles. So we can click on the visual setting, click on the sky, and change the source of it to the white cubes. Now I can click on the atmosphere and increase the shadow sharpness as I can for better details like this. So 96% is really good, and artificial light brightness related to the 122%. So ambient brightness control the interior lighting with exterior lighting. Right now I want some normal number about 56, and wind is not important. So the skybox related to the white cubes, and I want some clear or a little bit cloudy, something near to the overcast rendering. So I can increase the visual setting, some number about 64, and variety is about maybe 56, and Cyrus amount is about, for example, 88. So contrails is not important, and I can play with the longitude, and you can see the effects of the longitude in the interior lighting. For example, maybe something like this, 7,000, 3,700 meter, something like that, for example. And in the atmosphere, I can increase the 44% for the sun brightness. So in the skybox, everything is done for us. Now in the output, I want to change the file format to the JPG, and I need some Ultra HD resolution. So I have some work with these materials, so I will minimize the Enscape in here and start my job with this chairs material. So I will click on the paint bucket, open the Enscape material editor, and I want to pick up the eyedropper, pick up this texture in here and convert it from full black to the dim gray. Now we have better color balance in there. So 56% is good, and I can increase the specular about 61%. So I want to pick up the eyedropper another time, but this time I want to look at my environment in Enscape. So I think we can increase the reflection of these table near to the sofas a little bit. So I will pick it up and turn it to the full black and decrease the roughness to the 6, and now we have better reflection on our surface. I can change it to the 26 to convert some type of matte color. So 31 is the best number right now, and I can add some type of personage or people for my job. Before I do this work, I have some problem with this window glasses because it's too amateur. I can click on it and change the main color of it to the white and change the tint color to the gray. So now we have some balance between the outside and inside. So I can turn on the frosted glass for better reflection of the interior design on these glass. So I will increase the opacity, as you can see, and when I increase the opacity, outside will be faded for us, and it's really good. So 26% is the nice number for it, and I can increase the roughness about 6 and decrease the specular about the 42%. The final result is much better than the previous result. And now I want to add some type of people in my environment. For this job, I'm going to click on the asset library in Enscape 3.5.2, and I want to change the categories to the people and change the tags of it to the, for example, something like the maybe standing objects or people. So I want to add this guy in this place and click on the apply changes to see what happened in my environment. Alright, not bad. I can click on the selection tool, rotate this guy a little bit in front of the camera, something like that, and click on the apply changes. So we need another woman here, for example, someone a little bit official clothes, official dressing. So I can select one of these peoples. It takes a little bit time, for example, this one, not bad. So I can move it in here and click on the apply changes. Architecture is not only about the softwares or rendering. Sometimes you must know about some important elements in architecture and space design. For example, people, lighting, shadows, and all of these settings are really important in your rendering. So after all of these jobs, for example, I think everything is done for me right now, and we don't need anything in here. So I will close it right now, and time for the rendering. Before I do this job, I want to turn on some of these lights in the interior. So I will change my camera view a little bit, something like this. So I can click on the Enscape material editor, click on the sample paint, pick this color up, material number 1, and now I want to change the type of it from generic to the self-illuminate. As you can see, we have some problem and all the roof changes. For fixing these type of problems, you can add some new material to your environment. For example, I want to pick up the some type of color named like the for example, pink. And now I want to select it, but I don't know how, so I can use these frames, for example. So I'm going to select these face in here. Oh my gosh, all of them is a component and it's really nice. So now I can click on the Enscape material editor, pick this color up and change it to the self-illuminate. As you can see, we have some small range of the lighting and it's really wonderful. So you can create some super realistic renders for your job and it's really good. So I will change it to the white and change it to the creamy color. Everything is done for us. I can increase the specular to the 99 and roughness is about 44. So everything is done for us, and now time for the rendering, but we don't know how. For creating these type of renders, you must orbit in your environment a little bit, something like that, or you can press F and create some type of straight rendering with your default camera shot. So I prefer to use this one. So I will click on the visual setting, atmosphere, and increase the sun brightness to the 66. Everything is done right now, and time for the rendering. For better result, you can click on the selection tool in asset library and move this object a little bit near to your camera shot. It helps you when someone look at your render can't focus on the empty places, because near to the camera full and equipped by the people. So I can click on the select. This personage in here have some different colors, so I can change the color of it to something like the yellow and apply changes. So everything is done for us, and now time for the rendering. So I will click on the visual setting, increase the rendering quality to the ultra, and now I want to render my job. So it's about 54, and I will click on the screenshot in here. So I want to save it on my desktop and press save. As you can see, these type of renders in Enscape, you can do it by, I think, only in maybe 10 minutes. But this is the tutorial, so if it takes long, it's related to some type of things like the materials and other type of options. And the final result is something like this. I will show the picture to you right now. 95, and it's over. So as you can see, we have the new render in here like that. Very simple, very easy. If you like this video, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks for your watching, and goodbye.